Mr. Jama Hanshi, working with an international non-governmental organization known as Islamic Relief Worldwide. This is an organization, a charity organization registered in UK, but we have offices across the world, almost 40 offices or more. Currently, I'm based here in Nairobi, and I work for East Africa office. And for East Africa office, we cover Ethiopia, Kenya, Sudan, South Sudan, and Somalia. We came to this meeting because of the multiple issues affecting the continent. Africa as a country, as a continent rather, has been affected by a number of issues, and one of it is conflict. We also came out from COVID, which was really an emerging public health disease that has really scared the continent because of the weak health facilities in a number of countries. We also have poverty in this region. And basically, if you look at it, almost all the indicators economically, we are not doing very well. So the meeting here was convened for us to understand the kind of role that the faith leaders, the faith-based agencies like us are supposed to be doing in terms of pooling resources and also working closely with each other to support the governments and the regional strategies that are in place. The crises are many, but I will just summarize them, especially the key ones that are affecting the continent, and more so if you look at the East Africa where we are based at the moment. There is a lot of displacement caused by conflict. We also have displacements and people moving from one country to another, or also internally displaced as a result of the climate changes, which results into drought and also famine. We also have places whereby we had floods that are displacing people. And if you look at it, most of the countries affected, they don't have a quick fix, rather a coping mechanism. And this is something which is really affecting some of the countries that I've mentioned. And by larger extent, every day you will see in the news the number of people that have been affected in one way or the other, moving from the continent to maybe European countries because they feel that probably the continent is not really ready to address their plight. So generally, in summary, we have public health issues, we have economic issues, we have issues revolving around governance and accountability, which makes people believe that they're not given the equity in terms of being considered if there is job opportunities that are in the market, for instance, and unfair playing ground, which affects the citizens of these countries and push them further into the poverty level that we witness every single day. Well, the meeting went on very well, and we reflected at the beginning on the multiple crises, understanding better the kind of impact the issue of bad governance, the issues to do with debt that's affecting the continent because we keep on borrowing from financial institutions with high interest rate. We looked at issues to do with conflict, which is actually a real-time problem in the region and also the continent. We also looked at aspects to do with climate changes, which requires attention. So we, having reflected and known the impact, we now unpacked the role of the faith leaders. And we have really realized in this meeting that there's a lot to be done. And one of it is deepening the interreligious council in terms of working closely with each other, pooling resources together. We also looked at ways of amplifying or emphasizing the advocacy, so that the government of the day and the policymakers are made to be aware that we need to come up with the policies which are very friendly to our economy, strategies which are very friendly to our citizens, and also to come up with the sort of economic growth that will really lessen the burden on the taxpayers. As it is now, borrowing huge amount of money from these financial institutions is really making us go deep into a hole where it's going to be very difficult for us to get out. So the faith leaders have a role to at least inform the policymakers, the members of parliament, the researchists, work with them closely and inform them that we need to come up with the homegrown solutions that will be of advantage to our citizens, so that we have people who can look upon to good fortunes in their future, especially the youth and also the women and elderly, and to a large extent the ones who have been affected, and also the disabled. So basically the meeting discussed how can we create enabling environment as a strategy internally. Then externally we looked at what is it that we can do as religious leaders coming together in terms of developing a framework, a strategy, all-inclusive strategy, both the Muslims and the Christians and also other faiths, so that we can create a buy-in in a regional bloc like the African Union, so that they can be able to at least address the plight of Africans, especially the people we work with in this continent, in a larger way, and also inform the financial institutions like the EU that we need a playing ground, in the sense that as it is now, the way the business is being conducted, it may not really favor the continent, because this is a continent which is really been affected, as I said, with the multiple crises. So for us to come up with a win-win situation, that a joint venture between the faith leaders to advocate for both internal and external strategies to ensure that at the end of the day, we have a very strong economy which can serve the people of this continent. Well, we thank the organizers of the meeting, Caritas Jesuit and Jubilee USA, by bringing these different faith leaders and faith agencies, and use this platform as a catalyst for us to create a springboard for our plans and operations and strategies, working and engaging the government of the day. Thank you.